To all you young teenagers like me that have always had an admiration for photography and the way pictures are taken, like how it captures moments, views, people, everything. Have you ever wondered how you would like to be the person behind that camera, or even in front of the camera taking all these shots, but thinking that it would require too much work, or that it would be too professional, I could never take pictures like that? Well, I used to think like that, until I found out that it could be possible to do all these things. And good news is, you don't need to be a professional in order to take good pictures and look good in them. You're probably thinking, but how? I am just a teenager with no experience at all. I have no idea what camera I should choose because they're all so expensive and I don't know how to work with them. No worries, this video has all the information you need. Nothing too complicated, just simple tips and guides which you have never thought of before that will change your thoughts into thinking that it is possible to take high quality photos with no professional experience. Hard to believe. I know, but you'll see, it is possible. To start off, some basic tips and guides on headshots. When you're shooting people close or even far away, one very important thing to take notice of is your jawline. In case you didn't know, your jawline are these lines right here. So the idea with a jawline is to accentuate it so that it can bring them through clearly on your shots. And by accentuating it, it will make a big positive difference on your photos. You probably have never thought about this, or even right now you're thinking how this could possibly make your shots look even better. But believe me, it can in many ways. And so to make you understand this idea, right now, standing in front of the camera, you would look like this. And as you can see, you can barely notice my jawline. And even, depending on the person, you could create a small double chin down here, which you most definitely don't want to see. So, to take that away, what you have to do is bring your head towards the camera. So watch this. See? See how I made a difference? So, what you would want to do is pull your skin against the jawline to accentuate it. And all you have to do is remember to bring your forehead out and down. This is the key. Just remember this, as this isn't a natural thing to do, and I am sure the first couple of times that you will do this, it will be very weird. But you can practice it in front of the mirror by following 2 easy steps. And in no time, you will start doing this naturally, and it will make your shots look amazing. So, go do this. Stand up straight like how you would normally do. Then put your forehead out, down, but chin up. Repeat this as much as you feel like you need to do in order to get your brain automatically doing this next time you find yourself in front of the camera. And then it will be much easier. These are all things a model, the person in front of the camera, whatever you want to call it, would need to know. But actually, this is also very important for the photographer to know this, because they would need to know how to direct the model, because they can't see how they look like in front of the camera, but the photographer can. So going a bit into directing the model, into getting that jawline, let's take my sister for example. She, as you can notice and already have realized, she is not a professional model. She is just an ordinary person trying to take good pictures. And with the following guidance of the photographer, you can accomplish that. So, standing up straight and normal, she looks like that. And you don't want to take a shot looking like that. You can make her look much better. So, turn your body slightly towards your right. Now drop the front shoulder down, but not too much. Tilt your head a little right with nose pointing more right too. Bring forehead straight towards the camera. See how that looks? And how you can perfectly see her jawline now? But now, if you were to drop your back shoulder and lean back and bring chin down, look at this. Make sure to never let this happen. So, this was an example of a good directing to help the model find the right position to make that jawline where you need it. Now, thank you! Now that you have got the idea of how to work with your jawline and the ways you can accentuate it, you can use this to do your headshots. Just remember the key, which was forehead out and down. Easy to remember, and also, you could even, if it's easier for you, think to put your ears towards the camera, one at the side. So basically, you would cheat it out, but it works. And automatically, you will get a great outcome of different shots just because of the adjustments done with the jawline. If you are taking some casual shots and your model smiles or laughs, which will happen, because when they're doing this, they automatically push back the chin and you would create the double chin, which you don't want. To prevent that from happening and ruining your shots, just try to do it naturally and to keep your head towards the camera. Another thing, most likely, the person that is taking all these directions, they will think that it is weird because they don't normally do this. And so, take into consideration that if it feels weird, looks good. Now, I know you're all wondering what squinch means. Well, it's not an actual word. It was Peter Hurley, a portrait photographer, who invented that term. And I will tell you some tips on how to look more photogenic on camera by squinching. Squinch is the combination of squinching and pinching your lower eyelid. So it's all about the narrow distance between the lower eyelid and your pupil, like this. But be careful not to do it too much. So to make sure that doesn't happen, I would advise you to practice it in front of the mirror. This is the key to look confident in your shots because it will bring out the confidence in you. It is said that confidence comes from the eyes, but so does fear. So, in front of the camera, one thing you should do is have big open eyes like this. And that is what people tend to do. But you will just come out looking scared, and that isn't what you want to portray in your pictures. So don't show fear, show confidence. That is the key in portraits. If you want to bring in some extra confidence, you could even add a little smile with a squinch. That would make your shot look amazing, I promise you. Here, take a look at the difference it makes. It looks professional, doesn't it? Well, it's not, and you can do that too. Did you see how you can go from looking scared to confident just by using the squinch? Use this technique, it's the key. Now that you know both the jaw and squinch techniques, you can add those two together and see how your photos will look like from now on. And all of this just by learning some simple moves, and you don't even need to be a professional to be able to do this. So now we should be able to understand how to make your photos seem professional in headshots. You just need to be able to direct the model, find the right angles, and you should be able to come out with pretty good results. It doesn't matter who it is. It's not about searching for the right model or the right person, but yes, searching for the best ways to make anybody do that face. And lucky for you, you now know how. Some of you might be thinking, oh, okay, now that I know how to be the model or how to direct the model, what equipment do I use? What camera? Well, don't worry. If there is one thing you should learn from this, is that it is not about the type of light you use, background, or camera. It's about the expressions you pull out of people. You could even take silly headshots to get a good one, but what you need to really know is how the facial expression is the most important and how you manipulate the face into looking. The mouth, eyes, eyebrows, body, neck, that is what you need to worry about. I know I said you didn't have to worry about the type of camera you would need, but truth is, you do need a camera to take pictures, right? Well, I have a solution. The camera is one thing you must have when it comes to photography. Without the camera, you can't take pictures. But when it comes to choosing the camera, you look at the prices of the good and professional ones and think how expensive it is for someone that is just a beginner and a teenager to get. The minimum cost of the right camera would be about a minimum of 500 euros, and then the price would just go up, which is not the price range that us teenagers are looking for. But I do have a solution that will let you spend less, but still get a camera with the same looks and functions to a professional one, which would be more accessible and appropriate for you. I will show you a series of camera options which you can then choose the one that is best for you. Of course, you can always get the 500 euro plus one, but in case you want other alternatives, I will give you some. The cameras that I will present to you carry the lowest of the professional, which would be about 500 euros or less. And with those, you can get a low-cost one that can possibly get similar results to photos as a professional one would if you use it well. Starting the lowest are the compact cameras, which you can also call it point and shoots. These types of cameras can be used by any person, even the ones that don't know anything about photography. This camera is most used for vacations, birthdays, or any special occasion. These cost around 140 to 170 euros, and they are very accessible cameras which you can get and find anywhere. The operation of this camera is very easy to use and basic. They are automatic, which means that it adjusts the settings automatically when ready to take a picture without the user of the camera choosing the appropriate setting. With this camera, it is really just with some luck and hard work, or by finding the right moment or scene, to be possible to take good pictures with it. You can even, when taking headshots, make the camera lens focus on the person and blur the background, which is the headshot mode. And when taking pictures of a view, you can put it in the view setting mode to create the correct effects you are looking for. Now we have one that is more expensive than the previous one, which would be about 280 to 340 euros. The camera type is called bridge, which adds to the compact camera the basic function of the longer zoom. The only difference to this camera and the one I just mentioned is that it is more effective as it has the zoom function, which makes it possible to capture more details. These cameras are good for capturing pictures of the nature and wanting to capture the small details, which is a feature that the professional cameras can have that this one can't do too. These models of cameras can include more setting functions that can be used to evolve your photography techniques in a more advanced and creative way. Now we have the cameras that can be a little more expensive. The CST cameras are known as the Camera System Compact, which allows you to change the lens, so it's adaptable, which is more similar to the reflex cameras, which are the ones professionals use. To the CST cameras are a big evolution of the compact camera, which have more similarities to the reflex camera, from the lens to its function settings with manual controls. With these, you can result with a professional quality photo. But as there are many choices of this type, some go up more the price range we are aiming for, so they will go around 300 to 400 euros. Now, the final choice will go to about the price range of 450 to 500 euros. These are the lowest reflex type camera in the reflex scale that people buy because they want to start to understand photography and take it to a professional level, and later on to take this as a more serious hobby. These camera model functions the same way as any other professional camera. Then the prices go up depending on the techniques you can achieve with the camera and functions provided. So this concludes the problem about choosing the camera, and I hope now that with this information, you know that you don't have to go straight away to buy the super expensive and professional camera. You can start with one of the option cameras that I gave you to give you a start into the photography world before it becomes professional. Now that you know what camera to use and a little of how it works, and also how to take good headshots, there is one important thing missing, which is which I am here to tell you a little bit about, so don't worry if you don't know how to. This is for all the people that have difficulties on knowing what to do when in front of the camera on a casual photo shoot, and you have no experience of a model on what poses to do to take good pictures. Things you need to understand are first of all, use your imagination. Pretend that the camera is not actually a camera and that it is just a person which you are interacting with. The picture will turn out better if it tells like a story and you know what it transmits. Take for example a natural smile, which transmits a sentiment. Then you need to have emotion by your look, which is all about the eyes. So just not being shy in front of the camera and relax and feel comfortable, because if you show that you are being shy and insecure of what you are doing, the camera will capture that feeling and the photograph will not turn out as well as it could. Regarding this, many say that it is just a myth, but a person can have a preferable choice to wear to face. But that is just to feel better or more confident, and if that's so, then it's worth taking pictures on that particular side. But don't just stick to that one side. It is better if you have many variations, because then you will have more possibilities to come out with a good picture. What you can do is think of situations. This meaning, you can think of what you would be doing if you were in that place, or what would you be doing with your hands, where would they be? So keep your hands natural but in context with the place you are shooting. This is a fundamental thing when doing photo shoots. The choice of clothes have to work with the camera. To know this, you should do some tests to see how it looks on the camera. But it is important that the choice of clothes help the person get into the character, or even choose the ones you like the most or feel more comfortable in. So now that all the answers to these questions are hopefully clarified to you, you can take this information in two different ways. Either if you want to be the model in front of the camera posing, or if you want to remain the photographer and use the information to direct your model into taking better pictures. Last but not least, let's briefly talk about the after you have your camera and have taken your pictures following my guides and tips. You will probably want to edit your pictures after to make them look even better, and I will show you how you can do that. Now, in professional terms, you would need a specific program that would require you to have a lot of knowledge about the functions of the tools. And normally, professionals would use a program called Adobe Photoshop CS. And if I was to now teach you about how to edit pictures on that program, so no, I will not teach you that. Instead, I'm going to show you another alternative that is less professional and complicated, that is easy to use, and has almost the same functions as Adobe Photoshop CS. So you can end up with similar editing results by using Good news is, you don't need any professional experience to be able to work with this online program. Pixlr is the perfect online image editing application that is designed for non-professional users and allows you to easily edit images. It combines image design and paint tools with photo editing and adjustment features. So some of the major features are if you want to, you could even go ahead and go compare Pixlr and Adobe Photoshop CS and see how in fact they are very similar in many ways. And if you want to start using Pixlr and see how it works for yourself, you can easily go on the website www.pixlr.com, and I can promise you that it won't be hard to learn how to use. And this concludes the video. I hope that you have learned how to deal with photography in a non-professional way, and that you now know that it is possible to take good pictures without being a professional at it. You can now see photography in a whole new, completely different level, as I told you would in the beginning of this video. Before, you would see photography as a need to be a professional at it, but now you know, you don't need to. This is a start to all you teenagers, which then later on can go into learning professional photography. I hope this video has helped you. Thank you for watching.
We're a million lonely people all together.